From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Redding's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Good morning, everyone. Definitely a welcome sight out there yesterday. Many of us got to see some pretty good rainfall, and in fact, over an inch in some cases for the valley, about a half an inch to an inch, which was pretty much as expected. We also got to see some snow out at the Shasta board, at the Shasta Ski Park that is here, and just turned out to be one of those days where I think a lot of people were feeling very fortunate. Rain, we're getting snow in some of the higher elevations. The only, I guess, bad thing that we saw out there were some pretty gusty winds, especially in the morning yesterday at this time, where we did see those power outages. Del Norte and Humboldt counties. Of course, things did quiet down with those winds, but still pretty gusty winds again in the forecast, just not as bad as what we saw yesterday. But today, we still got some more drizzle out there this morning, some passing showers, light showers throughout the day today, but certainly nothing to the extent that we saw yesterday. We're going to tack on, instead of, say, a half an inch to an inch in the valley, to a few tenths of an inch of rainfall at best. But we do expect the next storm system, the more significant storm, to arrive Friday into Saturday. Now, this one looks like it could pack a little bit of a bigger punch. And what I mean by that is more rain and some more snow in the mountains. The winds will pick up as well, but as mentioned, they just won't be as strong as what we saw yesterday at this time. Snow level still fairly high, though, and will mainly be above 5,000 feet. So look at the rainfall totals. Last 24 hours, you can see a half an inch to an inch in the valley is pretty much what we saw. As expected, we just didn't see much in the way of rain off to the north and east. Northeast Shasta County, Modoc County, eastern, really all of Lassen County, and even most of eastern Plumas County as well. But then you head off to the west, and yes, it gets a little bit more significant. Now, we saw most of the rain in the valley, with the exception of Trinity Center at 1.21 and Ruth about a little over an inch, as well as Hayfork. And then you saw less than an inch for places along the coast. But still, some much needed rainfall welcomed as well. All right, let's get you through the day today, and we are going to be looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies. There may be some breaks in the clouds for some of us, but it's going to be one of those things where we're kind of between storm systems right now. So we've got a very saturated atmosphere, so it's not going to be hard for us to see a passing sprinkle, some drizzle, some light showers. There may be some areas that will experience some drizzle through most of the day today, making for one of those kind of drizzly days, if you will. But for the most part, again, it's not going to be quite what we saw yesterday. Now, let's talk about the winds, because we have another wind advisory for the central Siskiyou County area, in particular Shasta Valley. Now, this won't take effect until 7 o'clock this evening, and then will expire at 7 p.m. on Friday. Now, again, the wind gusts possibly upwards of 50 miles per hour, maybe a little bit higher in some spots here. So let's take a look at the futurecast and take a look at those winds. Now, today, as you can see here, not that big of a deal. As we go into about 6 p.m., you see how the winds are picking up in our typical spots here in the Shasta Valley. So that's where we have the biggest concern. But also notice, as we go into your Friday, we're actually beginning to see some higher winds developing some of the higher ridge tops again on Friday. Now, there are no wind alerts or advisories for Friday at that point, but that may change for some areas, especially along the coast. As you can see, the winds are picking up again. And look at out over the ocean. We're seeing those winds once again, most likely over 50 miles per hour. So the ocean is just still not a good place to be. The coast, by the way, which we'll get into that in a second, is not the place to be either, at least on the beach, right? So there you can see some winds kind of picking up even off towards some of the eastern mountains as well. So with Friday and Saturday's system, especially Friday, we look at those winds picking up, but it looks like by Saturday afternoon, those winds should start to die down. So here's the big picture. This batch of clouds is heading our way. But before it gets here, it's going to kind of stall itself out, and then kind of a lot of the energy pushing up to the north. But eventually it will push through, and it will bring us the rain. Here's the driving force behind that, and that's this big swirling area of low pressure. This is what will also be responsible for some of those gusty winds that we will see as this storm system approaches and moves in. I mean, it's a big storm, much like the one that we saw that moved through yesterday. So let's take a look at Futurecast. And you can see it's having a hard time really picking up on anything organized, but we do have the mainly cloudy skies. There'll be some drizzle, light showers, and some sprinkles out there as well. But you can see just really nothing all that organized. Looks like a little bit more organized activity kind of trying to push through later this afternoon and evening, but the main front, as you can see, is right here. So as we go into tomorrow morning, around 6 a.m., we're seeing some prefrontal showers developing. Now, could we see an off chance for a thunderstorm? Yeah, sure, but I think it's going to be mainly in the form of some showers. So some light to moderate rainfall, possibly even for some of us in the valley in the morning hours. But again, the main band is off to the west. Now, this is going to be a slow-moving system. So you can see here by noon, we're seeing the main band of rain along the coast, and again, some of those light prefrontal showers in advance of that, to the east of that, okay? So then we go into 5 p.m. on Friday. Now you're seeing the main band of rain over the valley, and then kind of on either side of it, not quite as organized. But you'll also notice not quite as organized even over the valley as well. It's breaking up a little bit here, but it's going to be a slow-moving system. As a result, it will be over the valley, and of course other areas as it moves over you, it'll be over you a little bit longer. So that's why I anticipate to see a little bit more rainfall out of this system once all is said and done. Now you'll see behind it, we actually do have some more instability that could create a few more showers going into Saturday morning. But notice on Saturday through the day, the chances for showers diminish. So I got the rain in the forecast for Saturday. But as we go into Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, it looks like things are starting to kind of quiet down, and then we're quiet for the second half of the weekend. Rainfall estimates, yeah, I mean, we could possibly see another inch to maybe even an inch and a half in some places here, and approaching 2 inches out near Crescent City. But there it is. I mean, take a look at this little footprint right here. We're not seeing as much rainfall off to the north and east. However, probably a little bit more than what we saw with this past storm system, even off to the eastern mountains. So bear that in mind. Looks like we could see some of that. Looking at the snowfall totals, again, fairly high snow levels with this storm system. So you have to go up pretty high in elevation before you start seeing anything significant. Now, just picking up on some accumulation around Chester and Quincy. That might be pushing it, but we could be looking at more snow out towards the Mount Shasta ski park. So that certainly is some good news, even at the base of the mountain as well, base of the ski park. So let's take you into the long range here, and we're going to take you into Sunday and Monday. Now, Sunday, still a chance for a few lingering showers, especially as we get around the upper level flow of this low pressure system, but that low pressure is going to stay to our south. So for New Year's Day, we actually clear things out for the first day of 2024. There it is on Monday, New Year's Day right here. Now this storm, what's going to happen is, and the models are in pretty good agreement here, is that sometime around Tuesday, it'll begin to push through, but then kind of ride down the coast. So as we get into Wednesday, we're not going to see much in the way of rain. And then as we go into Thursday, Friday, mostly dry conditions, so toward the end of next week. So what we're seeing here, and this is actually something that someone had commented on Facebook, and I found it kind of interesting because it's something I had mentioned yesterday, is that the setup that we're seeing right now is actually ideal. Because even though we're below normal for the season, we're doing pretty well. We're starting to do a lot better, and we are starting to see some decent rainfall. So this is the kind of setup you want. You want to see rain, decent rain, then a break, then more rain, then a break, then more rain. And that's essentially the setup that we've got going on here for the next week or two. Now, we look at the precipitation outlook, looks a little bit more promising. Over the next 6 to 10 days, you can see January 3rd to the 7th, we are seeing at least slight chances of seeing above normal rainfall. So again, the chances for rain are still there. Unfortunately, still some fairly warm systems here, but we're beginning to see the above normal temperatures kind of getting into slimmer and slimmer chances. So that means we're starting to see slightly cooler air trying to move in here, and that should help to lower our snow levels as well. All right, we still have a coastal flood advisory. It has just been a bit of a mess for those of you along the coast. You've been looking at these coastal flood alerts. The winds have been very strong, and of course you've got those high swells and those high waves as well, especially out over the ocean. And it's just not making for a safe situation out along the coast. So there could be some more localized flooding along the typical spots along the coast. And as you can see, 2 alerts I need to tell you about. Number 1, the high surf warning along the entire coast. until 8 o'clock tonight. Just not a good idea. These waves can come up, they can sweep you off into the ocean, and the ocean is already raging as it is. There's a hazardous seas warning, which does butt up against the coast until 9 o'clock tonight. So again, not a good idea to be on the beach, and not a good idea to be out on your small vessel as well. Let's take a look at those wave heights. They're not going to be as bad as they were, but we're still upwards of close to 20 feet as you start heading out here. Now we're going to go into Friday. They actually will start to increase a little bit because of the next approaching storm system. Now, again, this storm system, from a standpoint of pressure and strength, not quite as strong as the one that passed through yesterday. However, as I mentioned, it is going to bring us more rain, but it's also strong, and that's why we're going to see those high wave heights. So here's your marine forecast. Of course, we've got the hazardous seas warning out there. We got the winds from the southeast at 10 to 15 knots, waves from the west at 21 feet at about 18 seconds. So just heed caution. Again, stay away from the beach if you can, okay? And then hopefully things can start getting better here as we get into the weekend. Here's what it looks like for your Thursday. We got mainly overcast skies. Some of us could see a few peaks of sunshine, otherwise drizzly, passing sprinkles, passing light showers across the board today. Snow levels, if you see any snowflakes, will probably be above 5,000 feet. All right, so let's take a look at our 7-day outlook region by region. Here's what it looks like in Siskiyou, Modoc, and the Eastern Mountains. As you can see today, a few showers, a chance for some showers, drizzly, passing showers, better chances for rain. Now, it's late in the day Friday that we'll see at Mount Shasta. I quite honestly think it'll be mainly dry for your Friday for Alturas and Susanville. It's going to take a while for Friday's system to get here, but once it does, you'll know it, right? Now, as we go into Saturday, of course, you got the rain, 5,500-foot snow levels. Sunday, maybe a chance for a few showers here and there, but mainly dry for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and not to mention the Eastern Mountains. New Year's Day, it's dry. Tuesday, now it looks like sometime around Tuesday into Wednesday, we could see a chance for showers. Still seeing some inconsistency there, so have to kind of fine tune that over the next few days. Now, for the valley, we're seeing drizzle for many of us this morning in the valley. We could potentially see that throughout the day. It may persist throughout the day. This is one of those situations where the clouds are moving in. The air is very saturated right now, and we're not really seeing anything that's going to really help to kind of clear things out. So it could be one of those days. However, like I said, some places could see a little bit of patchy clearing here throughout the day today. Now, Friday, late in the day, you'll probably be looking at mostly dry conditions. Now, there'll be some scattered showers here and there for the first half of the day on Friday. And then by Friday afternoon, Friday evening, heavier rainfall moves in. It looks like more of a Friday night when we see some of the heaviest rainfall. And then Saturday, still some showers, especially the first part of the day, decreasing by the second half of the day. Chance for, some leftover showers on Sunday, but shouldn't be a big deal. Dry for your Monday. Now, I've got it dry here for Tuesday. You saw there on Futurecast the potential for some showers on Tuesday. Looks like maybe late Tuesday into Wednesday we could see a chance for showers, but the main storm system itself still uncertain on its actual path. It may ride down the coast and actually may miss many of us. So we'll have to wait and see here, but for now I've got that chance in there. Now, looking at the coast, again, that chance for showers today. Better chances for rain Friday, not to mention Saturday, and then mainly dry on Sunday. Again, just a slight chance for a few showers even on Sunday, especially out towards Trinity County. And then New Year's Day, it's dry. Maybe a chance for showers on Tuesday into Wednesday. So again, kind of an unsettled pattern here, and certainly a welcome sight for us to see more rain.